Hello there! Once again, I'm Glenn Joshua, your tutor for data structures and algorithms. So for our lesson number 2, we have linked list. So a linked list is a sequence of data structures which are connected via links. These are a sequence of links which contain items, and each link contains a connection to another link. So that explanation may be quite blurry for you, but don't worry. In the next slide, I'll be showing it to you. I'll be drawing it to you so that you can better understand it. So essentially, a linked list is a series of connected nodes, and each node must contain at least a piece of data that is in any type and a pointer to the next node in the list. So next, we have a head is a pointer to the first node, and the last node points to a null, which null or a null value. So if you're wondering what a linked list looks like, this is how it looks like. So first we have here, we have the head, and this head points to this. This head points to the next node and points to the next node to its data items. And this node has another pointer which points to the next node. So it just goes on and on and on. So here it is. It just goes on and on. Let's say it goes on for another one. Data items. And then next. And let's say this is the last one. So this last one now points to a null, since it is the last one. So that is how a linked list looks like. So from this diagram, the linked list contains a link element called the first, so the head, and each link carries data fields and a link called next. And here we go. So each link is linked with its next link using its next link, as we all can see, and the last link carries a link to mark the end of the list here. Which one? The one that points to the null. So next we have the types of linked list. So the first one is a simple linked list. It is the one that I've showed you in the previous slide. So the item navigation is forward only. So let's say this is it. It only goes in a certain direction, which is only forward. That is a simple linked list. And then next we have a doubly linked list. For the doubly linked list, items can be navigated forward and backward. So it can look like this. It can go forward and backwards. There we go. And then lastly, we have the circular linked list. So the last item contains the link of the first element and next, and the first element has a link to the last element as its previous. So from the word itself, it looks like this. So this is how a circular linked list looks like. So if you can't see it or you haven't noticed, a linked list and an array are quite similar. However, they each hold their own pros and cons. So for array, its pro is that it is easy to implement. The memory is saved as pointers and are not involved. However, its con is that it is not dynamic. It doesn't grow and shrink depending on the needs of the program or its runtime. So for the linked list, its pro is that the linked list implementation of stack can grow and shrink according to the needs of the runtime. So it can grow to virtually however you like it. However, its con is that it requires extra memory due to the involvement of pointers, because in linked list, it doesn't have an index as opposed to the array. So in linked list, you can access it, or it is accessed by pointers. So these are the linked list operations. So first we have the insertion. So it adds an element at the beginning of the list. Deletion, it deletes an element at the beginning of the list. Display, it displays the complete list. Search, it searches an element using the given key. And delete, it deletes an element using the given key. So for the linked list, you can implement it with the use of several programming languages, but in our experience, we implemented it through the use of Java, but I think you can still do it in C. You just have to, I think it's much more easier to do in Java rather than C. So that is it. That's the basic foundation or the concept of linked list. If you want to know more like how it should be done in code, there are multiple resources out there like Geeks for Geeks, Tutorials Point, or Java T Point that are much more detailed and helpful than this video. So good luck, and I'll see you on our next lesson. Thank you!